Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Iron Man Progress Series. On the last episode, we finally got our long-awaited goal of level 87 Slayer and began the hunt for a Kraken task. I did a lot of Slayer trying to get that task, but unfortunately we didn't get it. Hopefully we'll be able to get it this week. Additionally, we're still working on our quest cape, which we need 7 more quests to do, although the quests we have left are pretty scary. Also, in a couple of days, Varlamore Part 2 is coming out, which includes a new herb lore minigame, which I don't really know anything about at the moment. But I've seen it claimed that the minigame is going to give you more experience per herb, which is great for us. So I might do a little bit of prep for that. I might go to Herbivore. Right now we have 79 herb lore, and at level 82 or 83, I think it's 82, I can boost to make antivenoms, which is required for the highest tier ornate pool in the POH. So having that done would be a pretty massive upgrade for the account. With all of that said, we're starting off with some AFK Slayer while I do some stuff IRL. Let's get into it. I've said it before, but I am not necessarily a fan of getting hard caskets in the wilderness. So hopefully I get to keep it. And we were able to finish a totem during that Hellhounds task, so let's see if we can get lucky at Skatizo. And what do we get for 20 KC? Okay, I'm certainly not going to turn down 20 super restores. Alright, we were able to finish the Skatizo hard clue, which is our 4th casket from this task. Okay, we have 4 hard caskets from 1 Hellhounds task, and there's a lot of stuff I'd like to get. Namely the Heraldic Shield, so that I don't have to drop as many hard clues in the future. But there's also a lot of useful God D'hide, so let's just see what we get. Quick little spin to win. Okay, Master Scrollbook. Don't have any Tallyboards right now. And alright, that's about average. That is our 189th hard clue. I had been bursting all of the tasks that I could, but I need to do some stuff IRL like I mentioned. So I've just been doing a little AFK Melee Slayer, and there's level 84 attack. Hopefully our stats are high enough for Vardorvis, at least high enough to compensate for my lack of skill. And with this totem top, we are able to complete another totem. So I think after this task, I'll take a crack at Skatizo. And my first superior in like a week and a half gets us not much, but we do get to start another totem. Oh man, someone was luring outside of Ferox, and I was wondering if anyone would go for it. Oh well, at least he took all his gear off. Oh my god, we got it. Okay, we have our first Kraken task. It's only 178, which is not a huge task. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a few bracelets of slaughter. I think that is a topaz bracelet? I'm not sure, but I'll get those made. Alright, I've got 2 topaz bracelets made, and this is going to give us 50 extra kills. I think once I wear out, I'm going to go ahead... Oh, 30 extra kills each, so that's 60. So I think what I'm going to do is make more if I run out of these, which hopefully I do, because that would be 60 extra kills. No trident on our first kill. I didn't even know Krakens dropped clues, but there's a hard casket, and nothing but Alks. First of many old boot drops, I'm sure. I am going to be picking up Antidote Plus Pluses, because I think it's the easiest way for me to get them. We have a little over 100 kills left, and we just used our first Bracelet of Slaughter, so that's 30 extra kills that we wouldn't have gotten. Oh man, normally I like a good herb seed drop, but not when it's more rare than the trident I'm after. Speaking of, we get a Quorum Seed, another 1 in 500. Oh my god, we actually got the trident. Okay. Wow, with 41 left on the task. Oh my god, that is a good feeling. First time equipping a trident on the account. Look at it. Oh man, this opens up so many possibilities. Alright, let's take a look at the log. Cave Kraken, we have killed 188. The trident is 1 out of 200, so we are mildly spooned. Not gonna lie, that feels pretty good. I think I'm gonna take a crack at the big Kraken. No pun intended, I didn't mean that when I started saying that. Okay. But there's a few combat tasks I can knock out, and I think I should do that while I have a task, because I don't know when the next time I'll go back to Slayer is. Okay, the trident is cool because when it's either full or empty, I can put it in the looting bag. But when I charge it, I have to use coins, and when I uncharge it, those coins do not come back. So you do lose money using it, but it's not too bad. Plus, it'll let us auto-cast stuff while staying on the Arceus spellbook, which, again, opens up so many possibilities for PvM. Alright, first time fighting the big Kraken. I don't have a lot of space in my inventory for food, but our magic defense is not looking too bad. So for the first kill, we're going to knock out a combat task, Unnecessary Optimization, in which we have to kill the tentacles before the boss. Okay, that was a lot more tedious than I even expected, but that should do it. And there we go. That is a hard combat task, somehow. Ooh, Sandfuse Serums. Kind of nice, but I don't think I have the inventory space for them. 20 kills at the big Kraken makes us a Kraken adept. And that's another 3 combat achievement points. And there goes our second Bracelet of Slaughter. I am very glad I made those, but I don't think I'm going to make another one for 23 kills. And that's the task complete. We ended up killing 238 on a task of 188, so that's pretty good. We ended up knocking out 2 of the 5 combat tasks. The other ones are pretty obnoxious, but I'll get those all in one go. I'll have to kill 100, which is a pretty easy task. You just bring blood spells. And like I mentioned, the beautiful thing about the trident is that you can put it in your looting bag. 21 KC at Skatizo. Hard casket from Skatizo, and absolutely nothing. Wow, that is insulting. It's been a very long time since we've gotten a farming level, but there's level 81 farming. We can now grow dragon fruit trees. Oh cool, that gives us 1950 total level. I was looking at the quest list to see if there were any good quests that I could knock out before Varlamore Part 2. And the only one that jumps out at me is Forgettable Tale of a Drunken Dwarf, which is a pretty annoying one, but let's just get it over with. Okay, so for the quests, I need to get a flyer, and I was looking at the wiki, and there's 2 ways I can get them. It's like a 1 out of 3 drop for failing normal gauntlet, so let's give that a try. Okay, and there's nothing in the chest. I guess I have to do a damage or 2 to Conlift to get it. That's unfortunate, but we'll just have to get a weapon seed before we start. Okay, there we go, we did some damage. Now we can escape, and because we failed the gauntlet but did damage, we should get a low tier reward. And normal potion. Okay, let's try it a few more times. Okay, we got our flyer. That wasn't too bad. And it doesn't work. Apparently there are 2 flyers for some reason. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but dang it. Okay, so the flyer is a somewhat uncommon drop from the level 10 barbarians, which thankfully they only have 18 hit points, so this shouldn't be too bad. There we go, that didn't take long. That was still pretty annoying. I wish I could have used the one from the gauntlet. Alright, let's see if that detour to Barbarians was worth it. Absolutely not. Riveting gameplay. And you better believe I'm just gonna sit right here the whole time. Dude, what were they thinking when they made this quest? You have to wait for 15 to 20 minutes 2 times. And eating the kebab should trigger the cutscene. This is a kind of funny quest, but it's a shame it doesn't get picked up on. I think the Red Axe stuff goes nowhere in RS3, or maybe I'm wrong. And there we go, that was a pretty annoying quest. We get 2 mature Dwarven Stouts for it, which usually you drop over to a main, but I don't really feel like it, so we're just gonna drop them. I've been doing a bit of farming, and we managed to get our first Hespori seed in quite a while. Hopefully we can get our hands on a bucket. Anyway, paying Prissy Scylla to watch over a magic tree is a task in the Western Provinces area. 10 KC and no bucket. That is to be expected though. Like I said, I'd like to prepare a little bit for the release of Varlamore Part 2 and its herb lore minigame. It is now Friday, and Wednesday is when the minigame comes out, so I'm going to spend the weekend and the beginning of next week just hunting herbivore. I'm definitely going to get 1 hunter level, maybe even 2, but we'll see. I'm only 3 herb levels away from my big goal, so hopefully I can get there, but I think this minigame's going to be pretty huge for that. And we're starting off at 501 herbivores. Level 85 Hunter. I do plan on doing this until I can do master contracts at the Hunters Guild. There we go, level 86 Hunter. According to RuneLight, we have 46,000 XP banked, so it'll be pretty interesting to see how much that translates to with the minigame. And before I drop all my Numalite, I'm going to go ahead and open this chest. I only need a few more My Notes to finish off the collection log. And there we go. Already got one. Wow, actually never mind. We just greenlogged it with that 1 note. Okay, I really didn't expect to get another hunter level, but there's level 87. And we'll do a quick check-in on the herblore XP we have banked. We now have 87k. Level 88 Hunter. Herbivore is a lot faster XP than I remember it being, actually. And we now have 134k XP banked, so we're at least guaranteed to get 1 herblore level. It is Wednesday morning, which means the update is here, and the herblore minigame is now live. I really can't wait to get started. I don't know if there's like a quest you need to do first or what the deal is, so let's go read the news post. Man, I'm pretty excited. This is my first time interacting with an update on the day of release in a very long time. And they added quite a bit of stuff. Here we go at the bottom, Mastering Mixology. So it looks like it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You just make paste out of the herbs and then you use the paste. The one thing I'm not super happy about is initially we all thought that Irrit would count as Mox, but they moved it, so I have no Mox herbs now, so I gotta scramble to get those. And like I mentioned, I'm gonna need a lot of Guam, Terramin, Marentil, and Haralander, so we are back to Master Farmers. I did end up dropping all of my Guams, so I really wish I had known that Irrits wouldn't be Mox. And before we get started with the minigame, I'm definitely going to use all my Ranar's repair potions. There's no way I'm going to waste all these doses. Ended up with 230. Alright, and the minigame takes place on the island of Alderaan, and I'm not really sure how to get there, but I know you can charter a ship to it. Never mind, apparently it is over here. Okay, cool, there's a POH portal over here. They don't add those too often. My first impression is that this place is really pretty. I like this a lot. And I'm just now making all of my mox herbs into paste, and yeah, we do not have a lot of mox paste to work with. We're gonna have to do farm runs, I think, every hour or so. Okay, I don't have a ton of paste, but I think I have enough to get a feel for it. So as of today, people are saying that the rewards are too slow to get and the experience is too slow, so they're probably going to buff this in the future. I'd be really surprised if they didn't, but let's take our first stab at it. And that's our first potion we've handed in. The rewards are pretty good, actually. That was a couple hundred XP for just a few seconds of work. I mean, I'm sure making potions will still be faster XP, but this will stretch out the XP you get from each herb. I really can't wait till there's a rune light plugin. Just turn my brain off and click whatever glows. While I'm without mox paste, I'm doing a few herb runs. I figured I'd take a look at the new quests, and this one seems pretty interesting. Ethically sourced antiquities. So I'm gonna go and try to do it without a guide. I've gotten way too comfortable just spacebarring through quests, so it'll be pretty interesting to figure one out on my own. I love that Jagex can joke about their own quests. Our characters probably have PTSD from the words "one small favor." And that wasn't bad. That definitely took me like 10 times longer than it should have. But we get 6,000 thieving XP and 5,000 coins. We're now up to 297 quest points, which is pretty crazy. And evidently Alderaan has a fairy ring code, which is pretty interesting. I think I'll be able to dump herbs here between Slayer tasks in the future, which will be pretty handy. Well, this level's been a long time in the making, but here we are with our first herb lore level of mastering mixology. And there we go, level 80 herb lore. Which means we can make ranging mix. None of that's really useful for us, but we're one level away from Sarah brews, which is pretty interesting. And that is where I'm going to call it an episode for this week. This was a pretty big update for us. I think the mastering mixology is really going to stretch our herb lore XP. I had 80 herb lore banked, almost up to 81 with the little bit I had. But with mastering mixology, I think we're going to definitely be able to get 81, maybe even stretch it to 82 or 83 if we're very lucky. That said, there is a lot of talk that they're going to update the minigame to make the XP and the rewards better, so I don't regret doing it now. It's kind of cool to be doing an update the day it happens, which I never do. But all in all, I think this is a pretty huge update for Ironman. Once we get our herb lore grind out of the way, which I didn't expect to be doing in the middle of our Questscape grind. I wasn't expecting this minigame to come out now. I think we're going to buckle down and finally get our quest points cape. I'm very excited at the prospect of ditching our Draymond staff, so the Lumberjally Diary is definitely our current goal. And yeah, I can't believe we got the trident this episode. That's going to be pretty big for PVM. Anyway, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!